3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's me, the Einstein of Wall Street. We are here with Trade Like Einstein. I am Peter Tuchman, and we're here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange in the balcony. History is made in this building every single day. Somebody with my long-term experience, I've been here for 137 years. It is my responsibility to help teach you how to navigate this market successfully. Boom!
Hey everybody, it's me, the Einstein of Wall Street from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. This is episode 9874 of What the Heck is Going On. What a spectacular day for the last 2 days. Right, Friday, let's go over it, man. Let's forensically break this down because it is so significant. Friday we hit record highs, okay? Record highs due to we've been a little bit flat for maybe a week and change, right? I told you that 8 out of 8 times in the presidential cycle, right, we used to have a market rallied into the election, and then we had a little bit of a follow-through on the election, then we had the market pull back until November 21st, 22nd, when we started revving up towards the November Black Monday, Black Thursday, Black Friday, big Thanksgiving sales. And so we followed that thing for the 9th time. And then what you end up seeing is Santa Claus the market tends to flatten out as it kind of gets its bearings for the end of the year, and then Santa Claus comes to town and we have a rally into the end of the year. Well, 9 out of 9, it's happened once again. Market rallied beautifully coming into the election. Nice rollover the 3 days after the election. We had up 1,200 points after the election, and we had the next couple of days. That was sort of a relief rally, and then we had probably a couple of days of a Trump rally, right? And then the market sort of flattened out and pulled back for a couple of weeks, trying to get bearings. All things waiting for that. For the unemployment numbers and the payroll numbers that came in last week. And they do not disappoint, right? The numbers came in on Friday. They were good, not great enough to take the interest rate cut at the next Fed meeting off the table, but good enough to make the market rally into record highs on Friday across the board. Right, so just a few days ago we were at record highs. Then we had Monday and Tuesday. Market started to pull back. The reason market pulled back on Monday was all about Nvidia. Nvidia was being accused of some monopoly, right, trying to take over and corner the market, in AI, I guess. And so that kind of took down the whole market with it. We know that happens very often. Seen it with Walmart, seen it with Tesla, seen it with Nvidia, when an individual stock which carries so much weight in an index and just in the psychology of the marketplace, right? There's some stocks that everybody gets, that they've gotten their attention. And when they do that, everyone sort of, throws the baby out with the bathwater, right? And so the market tends to get flushed out with it. Well, that's happened on Monday, right? An attack on Nvidia around the monopoly question on Monday, and so the whole market kind of fell out of bed. Not bad. Although, mainstream media loves to talk about it the minute the market comes in, even though we've had, 58 record highs this year. We got one day where the market pulls in and it's like, oh, it's over, the dogs and cats living together, forget about it, all that craziness. Well, when those days happen, I always say to people, look, if nothing's fundamentally changed, let's take that stock out of the equation and not really overreact. And those are the days where the opportunities lie. If the market sells off around one stock, but we've got everything else getting dumped with it, and you didn't want to pay top dollar for the names you've been looking at, stocks where you like the people, the process, the product, and the profitability, right, the 4 Ps, then go after those names on those days, right, because nothing has fundamentally changed. And that's what Monday and Tuesday were. 2 days of a little bit of a sell-off. I'll often say to you, one day does not make a market, nor does 1 week make a market. And when you have little bits of pullbacks, and we've seen them this year, if you had 7 fingers on your hand, that's about the amount of times that this market has pulled back this year. We've told over and over again. April, July, August, weeks at most, where the market pulled off. And every one of these pullbacks, consolidations, sell-offs, whatever you want to call them, have been nothing more than spectacular opportunities. When those days come, half a shopping list. And that was the case. Monday and Tuesday of this week, even though the media tried to scare everybody away and they're going, oh, dogs and cats living together and people running from the movie theater screaming, fire, fire. I always tell you, hold your ground. Now, look, if the market is going to turn and things have fundamentally changed, well, that's a different story. But if they didn't, if it was just a little bit of a pullback, their attention went into somewhere else. Maybe their attention was Nvidia, markets falling out of bed with Nvidia, and that was the case. Don't but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Find an opportunity and scoop stocks at a discount of $5 or $10 that you didn't want to pay top dollar for when the market has these little bit of pullbacks. Monday, Tuesday, I said it to you. If you go back to the videotape, right, like Warner Wolf back in the day, I said, don't get excited about these days. We're off 150 on the Dow, 25 on the S&P. It's nothing to be worried about. I believe that we're going to have some numbers coming in on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I believe they're going to be good. So hold your ground. And if you listen to me, and I'm not your financial advisor, right? Disclaimer. But it turned out to be right. CPI came in this morning, right? Looking for 3.3, came in at 3.3, did not disappoint. Expectations were delivered. And the market rallied. And then we've just had, it's probably a bit of a short cover. We opened up about 25 handles. We ended up closing up 55 handles, right? A spectacular rally. Beautiful, beautiful, solid rally. And what it does for us is, I believe this is probably, look, we do have numbers coming in tomorrow and Friday, but I believe this sets the stage where the runway is clear for Santa Claus to come to town. You can hear, I'm out here, Benny. You can hear the jingle of Santa Claus coming to town, right? That's it. That's all we needed. We needed a little bit of that reversal. We needed a catalyst to either go higher or go lower, and I believe maybe today was that day. So anyway, it's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a great day to be trading this market. Wall Street Global Trading Academy. If you want to learn how to trade, if you don't know a stock from a stock, if you're trading retail and you're struggling, if you've been around for a while and you just can't get your feet in this groove, come and join us at WSGTA.com. Me and my man, David Green, one of the top technicians in the space. I am here this week covering for my wonderful friend Nicole Lappin, who's out on maternity leave. Let's all wish her well and stay tuned. We're going to be watching some of the great interviews I did this year. Right? We've had wonderful ones. Trade Like Einstein, food, fashion, finance, fun, and fashion and art and all these great things. So, and fun technology. And we've got Dan Ives and I talking about finance, talking about clothing, talking about breaking the market down, right? Einstein and Ives breaking this market down. Go check that out. So look, Trade Like Einstein is here. We're going to be giving you a breakdown of the market every day for the next 20-something days. To close out the year, I am hosting and covering for my wonderful friend, Nicole Lappin. Ladies and gentlemen, today was a great day in my book. Today was the day that just showed you that you don't freak out when markets have little bits of pullback. Hold your ground. There was plenty of time. Look, if the numbers came in bad today, you had plenty of time to sell, right? But look, we've seen this market, right, forge through all some badness this year. A couple of wars, a lot of interest rates and inflation stories, so many different things, yet we forged higher. Today, that's what I wanted to tell you. Today was the first time in history, once again, that Nasdaq closed above 20,000. That is a huge landmark. Some people say the Dow's no big deal, 40,000, 50,000, whatever it may be. But Nasdaq closing above 20,000 is significant. Amazon, Google, Meta, Netflix, all closed at record highs, not 52-week highs, record highs today, and that's what took the Nasdaq to a 20,000 point close. We closed at 20,032. That is huge. So not only have we had 54 record highs across the board in the markets, not only have we are trading at a record high in the Dow, not only have we taken the S&P to 61, just almost 6,100, but now we have taken, and the Russell trading at record highs, but we've taken the Nasdaq, the great tech sector of all time, to a close above 20,000, first time in history. That's all I got to say about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is beautiful to be with you. Trade Like Einstein, Money News Network. I love it. I love it. I love it. You got to be in it to win it. Check it out. Have a great holiday. I love you.